Happy Friday, everybody, and welcome back to Brown Bag Bets. Powered by BETSPERTS, we are your daily dose of quick hit handicapping and sports betting picks. I'm Alex Christenson, and joining me as always, Mr. Andy Molitor. And Andy, it's a great Friday because baseball Fridays might be over. It might just be football Fridays forever. What do you think?
I think it is. It's that time. It is Football Fridays, and yes, special guest Mr. Fallica stopping by. It's been a while. We talked to him a while ago. I think about Augusta. It was nice having
Mhm.
Augusta at the right time of the year. It was awful fun, and yeah, I've mentioned a couple times how much I hate golf this week, as far as just like the most anticlimactic way to end a season out of any of the sports. And it's a good week to get into college football because I don't know how much I can pay attention. I've tried entering more DFS and more bets than I normally would, just degenning a little to try to get me excited about golf. It's still not working. So yeah, I'm fully moved on to football, and we have a week before the NFL goes. So yeah, welcome in Chris Fallica, the Bear, going to talk some college football with us. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. I agree with you about the tour championship. By the way, it's so hard because like you got the markets with the handicap, without the handicap. So I hate the way they completely screwed up the end of the year with this giving the leader for it or whatever. I agree with you. It's terrible.
Yeah, for sure. And going into this weekend, it's kind of weird. I don't know. Maybe it's a little more normal, but I don't remember there being this many lead up games, like Thursday and Friday games on a weekend like this. So it's kind of nice to slide into it like this and then have a whole Saturday full of it. I've got some fantasy football drafts. I don't usually get to watch a ton on Saturdays, but just gonna be with buddies all weekend. So I'm gonna fully imbibe in the fully college experience this weekend. And yeah, I mean, did you get involved in the last 2 days? I don't know. I
Yeah,
guess
yeah, but
actually producer Dan.
yeah, yeah. Boise State was interesting last night. That was one of those that once it hit 6.5, I was like, okay, I'll hop in here, and it was certainly the right side, and yet wound up being an unexpected sweat. But fortunately, it did come through. I thought about going over with the Ohio State game, but once I saw rain in the forecast, I was like, yeah, new quarterback, wet balls. Tanner Morgan really can't throw very well. I'm not going to get involved, and then ultimately it did wind up going over very easily. But yeah, Boise State was the only thing I did jump in on last night. And I'm thinking about maybe tonight if that Virginia Tech North Carolina game hit 6.5 again. Look, I'm very high on Carolina, but at the same time, laying 6.5 in a road opener in a massive game with a team that has won its last few games at Lane Stadium as an underdog against teams not named Clemson, that might be a spot to take a peek. And then Charlotte tonight is a 6.5 point dog against Duke. And Duke obviously is not expected to be one of the better ACC teams this year. This is a team that they beat by 40 somewhat points, I think it was last year. So I would expect Charlotte to come out tonight. And not just because I'm standing in Charlotte right now, but I would think Charlotte plus 6.5 would just kind of try and get a little bit of revenge from that embarrassment last year. That line at less than 7 kind of smells a little bit to me. So Charlotte might be the right side there.
Nice, yeah. It's nice to see some of these smaller. That's what I like about these like Thursday, Friday games. You get some of these smaller programs get a little more shine, and honestly, I think some of the just the gambling kind of brings that on too, as far as some of these games that wouldn't normally get much shine when they have a
Oh,
lot of action. All of a sudden, it's like everybody's talking about this game, and especially you had the standalone. And I was going to say, producer Dan did want to know this year. He put me on
all
the
right.
under on the Wednesday game. The Oh God, what Jacksonville State UAB never in doubt under
UAB.
51 and a half.
That's my guy. That's my guy. He locked in last year on the FCS, so he's well versed in those teams and knew that Jacksonville State wasn't going to offer much. So yeah, I think producer Dan needs to be a little more vocal on social media with these picks all the time. He's sharper than he thinks he is.
Yeah, I'm gonna make him put some more stuff on the air. So, and you had a
Good.
couple games. Yeah, you had a couple games you wanted to talk about today, and I mean, right in my wheelhouse, right in my heart. I'm a Big Ten guy. I'm a I don't want to say Gophers fan, although they put up the good fight last night. If you had Gophers
It
first
did.
half, that was a nice little grab for people. And then anybody who grabbed minus 13 and a half was feeling pretty good in the long run. And it's funny how close that ends up coming. But yeah, Indiana, Iowa, you have a take on here.
Yeah, I like Indiana a lot. I'm sorry, I like Iowa rather a lot in this game. I think it's 3.5 now. I know it was 3 earlier, but it's come up a little bit. I just don't know if what Indiana did last year is going to be sustainable from last year to this year. Most of their performances were either wins over bad teams, or you're looking at turnovers, red zone defense, keeping teams out of the end zone. You lose your defensive coordinator, Kane Womack. You lose a safety like Jamar Johnson. Walt Failure gone. They really couldn't. I don't know if they're going to be able to replace Stevie Scott so easily as well. I think their underlying numbers were more reflective of a team that was not as good in the win-loss column as IU was last year. And Iowa's a team that Kirk Ferentz's program's kind of been built on like one group of upperclassmen leave, the next round comes in and replaces them. So I think Iowa wins tomorrow. I don't want to say relatively easily, but I think they win comfortably tomorrow. I think Iowa at home is the right side there. And then the other game I really like this week is Notre Dame. I think it's 7 in some spots now against Florida State. I just don't know about the Florida State defense at all. This is a team that has been really poor on defense now, at least 3 years running. Notre Dame, I think, is a little underappreciated just because they seemingly can't do what nobody else can seem to do either, beat Alabama, beat Clemson. I think Jack Cohn is going to be more than an adequate replacement for Ian Book at quarterback. I think Kyron Williams is a dynamic playmaker who is going to have a big game against Florida State on Sunday night. I think they're going to get more speed on the field at wide receiver, and they have a matchup nightmare at tight end with Michael Mayer. So I get a lot of people wanting to be on the home dog here, but I'm going to lay the 7 with the Irish on Sunday night.
Yeah, and they could have a nice season again. They have a tough non-con schedule there with a tough group of 5 team off the bat. It could be another one of those years for Notre Dame where it's like, hey, this is a really good team that has no chance to win a national title and might end up looking at, I think, probably 6th, 7th to get into the playoffs. But it's always an outside shot. And I guess, before we cut you loose here and let you get after it down in Charlotte, because, it's the beginning of the grind for you. It's that time of year where you were traveling a ton, and like you said, down in Charlotte, you said it was an interesting market. I didn't know if you had a hot take on this or just a side. I know somebody else brought this up with me already today, but the LSU-UCLA game.
Yeah, it's the most intriguing game of the weekend. In my opinion, just because it's an opportunity for UCLA to back up their win against Hawaii and kind of legitimize that and really legitimize the Pac-12. And at the same time, on the other side, you have LSU, which was last year a sign of things to come this year, or was it just an aberration and changing coordinators is going to solve all that? So it's a really intriguing game to me that could really send both teams' season in an opposite direction. I think if you've waited it out long enough, like maybe some people have, expecting this number to fall, I think it's going to continue to fall. I think it's 2.5 right now, and maybe it'll hit 2. I'm not totally sure on that, but I think it's going to stay under 3. If you waited it out hoping for that to back LSU, I think now is certainly the time to do that. And if you've liked UCLA, you've missed that best number, so probably you're just better off taking UCLA on the money line.
Yeah. I think, again, everything you said about LSU, such a weird team to evaluate last year, coming off just a historic season and then having everybody got drafted. Plus there was, the opt-out of a very important player, and you lost a really important offensive coordinator. And I don't know how much you can take away. I think, if you aren't betting this game, maybe pay attention anyway. Like Bear said, I think you can learn a lot about LSU and kind of figure out what they're going to be going forward under Orgeron without Brady here. So, good stuff. I'm excited for tonight. I think I got I'm going to have to go check my tickets to see what I have. I feel like I bet a bunch of games and I didn't exactly know if they were Friday or Saturday. So I might have some action tonight. I do need
Good on you. Just start firing. I love it.
Yes, I do need to check that to see if I need to watch some games tonight. But we appreciate your time. We'll let you get back after it. And we'll look for him tomorrow on game day. It's Saturday. It's college football Saturday, man.
Let's do this every week. Let's have some fun and talk.
All right, perfect. Thanks a lot, Chris.
Take care, guys. Have a great weekend.
Hey, Andy, did you have fun?
Good stuff.
I did. And mild tech difficulty on Alex's side as he could not hear Mr. Fallica. So I didn't
that's a problem?
Yeah, it's not that he didn't like him and didn't want to join in. But he didn't want to pop in and not know what he was saying or when he was saying it or stuff. So yeah, we'll probably be able to get Mr. Fallica back most Fridays this year, talk a little college football, which helps because I'm not as good at it. And obviously, I'm more specialized in the NFL, and Alex, obviously, tennis, NBA, NFL. So it's nice to get some people on here that can help us along for sure. And it was nice. Yeah, Frank. Frank had a play yesterday. Rico. I call him Rico. It's Rich, but it's Rico on Twitter. Had some plays to look at, especially some stuff. So I think we got a lot of college football in this week, and that's awful nice. And
I'm
now
excited to listen to it.
yeah, let's and obviously there's a bunch of people on Twitter I talk to. I have some networks that I have betting this, I'm betting that. So I have a lot of college football bets in, probably more than I really should at this point. But today, again, like I said, I don't know if I have any college football bets tonight, but I know I have some tennis bets tonight because I follow friend and co-host Alex Christenson here, and he's got some US Open. It's raining cats and dogs here. Is it nice in Flushing at least?
It is. The weather's pretty solid. Looks like everything's going to be okay. So, fingers are crossed. We got Rybakina, one of my outright picks. She's playing Halep right now. Fingers crossed. She's up a break. I don't know if she's able to close out the set. But a couple bets here. These are actually all tomorrow. We're starting the third round here. Nothing that really stuck out to me today that I really liked. If you were looking for some stuff today, I wouldn't necessarily fault you. Daria Kasatkina is kind of an interesting underdog there. Flip a coin and pick either Viker or Muguruza. That's a true coin flip match. That could be a lot of fun. But some bets that I do. Oh, Danielle Collins, by the way, another underdog that might be live. But all numbers that just missed my card. As for tomorrow, we're going to take Sarah Sorab as Tormo. She's been playing very well. Again, continues to kind of just rise up to a level that I haven't seen in her entire career on hard courts, has been kind of demolishing people for the last week or so. She is playing Emma Raducanu. And I'm not sure if you say it Raducanu. It's spelled Raducanu, and it's just more fun to say that way. And I'm sorry, Andy. I know you love Emma quite a bit, but I think that this is kind of an overreaction to her solid grass season. Her kind of beating up on some lesser players here. I think she is going to run into Tormo here and get a little bit outclassed kind of for the first time in a little while here. It will be a competitive match, but I like Tormo quite a bit here at minus 120. Also thinking about sprinkling some 2-0, maybe like if I can find a minus 2.5 or a minus 3. Things have been a little bit slow. Again, all these matches are tomorrow, so stuff like that will be up later. I'll put those on my BETSPERTS account or on my Twitter account, so if you want to see those. Iga Swiatek, the young Pole, is playing Annette Kontaveit. This match is effectively lined evenly. A lot of the books here, unfortunately, that I looked at aren't really hanging 10 cents each way. A lot of them are 15 cents each way at this point. I think they're a little hesitant with some of these. And this particular line, I have Swiatek as a pretty solid favorite, minus 150, almost minus 155. If I continue to tweak things towards past years, I can get it out to a much, much deeper number. Kontaveit been playing some solid tennis, but I think these conditions are going to be nice for Iga. She's looked pretty comfortable here, and I think she, again, is a much better player than Kontaveit. And, Kontaveit's form over the last 2 weeks or so, a little bit better, but happy to take what I believe to be the much better player who has been playing solid tennis to win a big match. Again, Kontaveit generally struggles in these events when she gets this far. And then another over here. Coco Gauff, unfortunately, is out of the tournament, Andy. Sloane Stephens knocked her out. But Bianca Andreescu continues, which means we do have some overs here. Over 20 games against Greet Minin. Minin here is a lucky loser. Lost in the final round of qualifying, but was able to sneak in. Now has 2 more wins under her belt. Has a solid serve. I think is more than capable of getting the 8 or 9 games that we're going to need from her to get this total over its number. So 20 looks pretty good to me. If you have a 19.5, there's this rogue 19.5, minus 125 floating out there. Play that. That's a pretty good number. Over 20, minus 10, minus 15, all look solid to me. And I might even look at maybe like some over 21 or 22s or something. I think there's a good chance of having like even a 7-5, 7-5, kind of an ATP style scoreline, Andy, if you will.
Yeah, I'm in on that. And if nothing else, so I watched the Andreescu match because I do enjoy watching her matches. Not only just because I like her, but I like her style of tennis, and I don't want her to play too well. I was about to say I want her to play better. I want her to start getting back into form. I'd like her to, maybe a 7-5, maybe a nice, a mini bagel and a tie break. really make the second set a no sweater for me. But yeah, Andreescu's, that's one. If I had my tennis best bet of the day, as far as stealing ones from Alex, is that one for sure, because I'm going to bet that one for sure. So I didn't get involved in the men's. Somebody asked about Morikawa over Burns today. I really still don't know if Morikawa is completely healthy. His, ball striking has been great. He looks fine. I'm heavy still Corey Connors. I think I didn't retweet it, but there are going to be people that are doing the scoreboard keeping for the golf tournament. It's called the shadow leaderboard, because it's not the leaderboard. It's the leaderboard based on how they've shot that tournament so far, which is the market I bet into on this show on Monday. The who will have the lowest score. They don't have to win the tournament. Like Harris English could win this market by 6 strokes, not win the tournament, I think, easily. So Harris English and Connors, a couple other guys I had in that look, Sander, maybe Scotty Scheffler, I think I had 4. So I'll be watching that scoreboard, that leaderboard for sure, and I'm playing some DFS. Otherwise, it is a tennis and college football weekend for me, and for all you straggler asses. I got a promo. In fact, we got a really good promo. I didn't even tell you about this one yet, Alex. This is brand new. I just grabbed this art this morning.
I love this.
Got this on the show. This is going to be.
Dan. It's very pretty.
Yeah, this is going to be for new depositors only. So if you've been hemming and hawing about getting involved because, well, Andy, I don't want to do preseason football. Like, I want to actually go, and there are tons of college football players that you can do in your PrizePicks entry. So if you sign up for a PrizePicks account and deposit using promo code BETSPERTS not only do you get the 100% deposit match up to $100, but any entry you put in that has not any entry, you just have to pick someone from a Georgia or Clemson and put it in one of your entries. And if at least 1 point is scored in the Georgia-Clemson game, which I would assume is very likely, you get $50. So you get the 100% promo. You get the $50 if there's a game point scored in Clemson. Yuga is how I say it now. So this is a pretty easy, no-brainer one. So deposit, just put in $100 or less than that or whatever. Anything less than that, you get 50. Or you get the 100% match, and then anything past that, you still get the $100, and then the $50 if you get a Clemson or a UGA player in a PrizePicks entry.
I love it. That's a lot of fun. I may have to go over to New Jersey today for that, Andrew.
Sounds good. Yeah. Let me know if you have any questions again on this or anything. My DMs are open. If you ask me a stupid question, I'm sorry, now I feel bad because I'm dogging on people whose DMs haven't been answered. Sometimes I just run out of time. But if you ask me a decent question, I'll usually answer a DM. So if you have questions on this stuff, obviously hit me up. If you have questions, if you want to get yourselves into that Vegas event next Friday, hit me up for sure, and we'll check you next week. Hey, happy weekend, Alex. See you Monday.
We did it.
We did it. We made it all week.
Well done.
All right.
Well done, everyone.